Hello, today we are going to set up BOINC to crunch the Rosetta at Home project, which is working on fighting the novel coronavirus through protein folding via distributed computing. We are then going to set up Gridcoin as a layer on top of BOINC. Gridcoin is a blockchain that mints its own currency and distributes it to people who contribute computation cycles to distributing computing projects running on the BOINC infrastructure, among other things. So a little bit about BOINC very quick. BOINC is a distributed computing infrastructure developed in 2002 out of the project SETI at Home, which many people might be familiar with as a screensaver in the late 90s. Uh, on BOINC or using the BOINC infrastructure, there's a whole there's 30 some odd projects you can run. They're doing any type of science you can think of, more or less. Physical science, cognitive science, math, uh, distributed sensing projects with earthquakes and radiation, some really cool stuff. There was one making smarter software and smarter hardware circuits. So uh, distributed computing basically is everyone's computer working together to form a very large supercomputer. BOINC, as measured through flops, is one of the largest supercomputers in the world. I think it's in the top five. Um, Yeah, so definitely check out this page, boink.berkeley.edu/projects, for all the different projects you can crunch, not just Rosetta at Home, although Rosetta at Home, for the time being, is the only project that is working on the novel coronavirus, though there are other projects that do protein folding, which help in other help fight other diseases. So there's GPU Grid, does protein folding, World Community Grid, does a lot of protein folding in medicine. They do cancer research as well. Um, you can see a lot of these projects are run out of large entities or universities. You got CERN here, World Community Grid, which I mentioned, is run out of IBM. You've got Rosetta at Home, which is run out of University of Washington and the Protein Institute. You've got Max Planck runs the institute runs a BOINC project somewhere on here. Uh, Purdue running NanoHub, great project. There's a whole bunch. ClimatePrediction.net, so you can do climate science here as well. Tech. And if you're wondering which project to crunch, because it can seem a little overwhelming, there's a nice little supported platforms thing here. So NVIDIA, you can use your GPU, if it's an NVIDIA, to crunch amicable numbers and collapse conjecture. You can use AMDs to do both of those as well, and you can do CPU work here. Um, so yeah, just look around here. If you see this little thing, that means there's going to be an extra step involved in setting up this project. You're going to have to set up a virtual machine. It's not that big of a deal, but we're not going to go over that here because we are going to be setting up Rosetta at Home, which has CPU work and work for Android, which is pretty cool. So you can use your phone here as well. Yeah, if you want to learn more about BOINC, uh, do jump in to the GitHub, contribute. It's an open source software, so every little bit helps with the computation power, and every little bit helps with the coding too, and also marketing, outreach, design work. Someone designed this logo; it looks great. So come in and help out however you want. There is a Discord. Here's the invite. Come on in, say hello. There is a Twitter at BOINC Network. And there is also a podcast that I put together with a biker down in Australia named or with the handle Delta, and you can find this at boink.network. And we have a whole bunch of episodes up here right now. We're doing a 4-part tribute to SETI at Home because they're stopping work units at the end of March. But we talk about all this other stuff, some science stuff. And Delta also does project briefs, which cover BOINC projects specifically. So that's the BOINC side of things. After that, we're going to set up Gridcoin. Gridcoin is a blockchain that mints its own cryptocurrency. As I already said, it rewards for distributed computing contributions, but it can also do some pretty cool other stuff because it is a protocol. So yeah, I'm not going to get into blockchain and cryptocurrency too much, but we will set it up so you can make a little money for your crunching and cover the cost of electricity. But enough of that. Join the Gridcoin Discord if you want to learn more. we'll hook you up. There's also a website, gridcoin.world, has a bunch of docs, and Gridcoin Network is the Twitter. And there was one other thing, right? The Gridcoin Fireside, gridcoin.science, is a podcast I put together with a bunch of guys in the Gridcoin community. Both these podcasts, by the way, are participatory, so you can come in when we record them live and talk about stuff. Cool. So let's get started. We're setting up Rosetta at home as a BOINC project so we can work on helping fight the novel coronavirus. So you go to boinc.bakerlab.org, click Join Rosetta at Home. You're going to go ahead and read the rules and policies. Very short. There they are. Cool stuff. You're going to click Download. You're going to get this is going to get you the BOINC desktop. So we do not need the virtual box, as I mentioned before. This is just a straight BOINC implementation. So you just download BOINC, get that going. Cool, cool, cool. Keep going. Power through. Oh my God, this is so difficult. I've had to click 2 buttons already. You're going to click Next here. You're going to read these, of course, and then accept the terms. Basic folders. Oh man, this is so much work just to help advance science. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Oh my God, we're done? Not quite done. All right, so again, here are all the projects, supported systems. You can read a little bit about them. You're going to go down to Rosetta at Home. There you go. Click Next. So, awesome. Now you're going to click No, New User. Now, I need to do that. You're going to put in your email here, and you're going to want to remember this email. You want to use that same email for every BOINC project you sign up with, and you're also going to use it to sync Gridcoin with your BOINC crunching a little later. So use an email that you have access to, and don't use a different email for every BOINC project. One email for everything. You can put in a password. So what you're doing right now is making an account with Rosetta at Home on their servers. So the cool thing about BOINC is anyone, project data, keep going, anyone can make a BOINC project. Gridcoin tutorial 2. It is open source software and infrastructure. So there are, World Community Grid, IBM, CERN, there's these huge entities, and then there's also projects that just do, just run off of someone's laptop in their closet. They just have data that they want to get analyzed, so they set up a BOINC project. It's really neat how that works. It's a very permissionless system. So now we're going to set up a team. Well, we're going to join a team. You can join the Gridcoin team. You can join one of the other whitelisted teams. So this is kind of important because it has to do with how you're going to get rewarded with Gridcoin. Gridcoin is currently working on removing the team requirement. There are reasons that you had to be on the Gridcoin team in order to get rewarded with GRC, but we've worked past those technical difficulties and are now getting ready to remove that team requirement. But for the time being, we're in a beta. So there are a couple teams that we are distributing GRC to until we fully remove the team requirement. One of them is the Reddit team that we are going to join. So to join that team, you go search here for r/, I think it's COVID-19. Search for the team. There we go. We're going to beat it. Let's do it. Click the team. And there's a bunch of stats on it. Thank you for founding this team. Awesome work. Join this team. All right. We're set up with BOINC. BOINC is now running. We're on the right team to be able to sync our Gridcoin and get rewarded. Here is your CPID. We're going to refer to that number later. And here is the email that we use to sign up to the project. Remember, one email, every project I work on, one email for the Gridcoin wallet. That email rules everything. Because, you can also work on all these projects. So, BOINC is running. There you go. It's doing its thing. Rosetta at Home does CPU work. So these, I have it set up so each task is running on a different core. And Yeah, if you have GPUs as well, I would recommend checking out Folding at Home. They have GPU work. Also working on COVID. Um, but there's a lot of stuff you can do in BOINC to tweak the settings. Notice how I'm using the computer right now and the tasks are running. They're using my CPUs at full blast. So what I would recommend doing, going to Options, Computing Preferences, let the sucker load, uh, and and play with these. So you can see that you can suspend when the computer's in use, and you can say when I use my mouse and keyboard, suspend the work. That way, you know the software runs only when you're asleep. So that's pretty neat. You can also tone this down so it's not using all the CPUs. So I've got 16 cores here, so I'm going to take this down to 92%, and it should shut off a core or two. And then 80% of CPU time, we'll just make it so it doesn't completely go nuts. So we'll save these, and there you go. Shut off a couple tasks. These will continue to run. Once these are completed, they'll send my results back to the Rosetta servers, who will then use it to do cool science. And I'll immediately start working on these, and I'll pull in more work units when I need them. Work units are what these are called. Just each of the tasks is a work unit. All right, so BOINC is running. We can get that out of our vision there. Scroll through here. All right, we're gonna set up Gridcoin now. So yeah, learn about blockchain if you don't already know about it. But for this, we're just gonna jump right in. So solo crunching and pool crunching. This is a thing we're gonna have to talk about. You don't need to worry about this right now. So uh, in order to receive your Gridcoin rewards, you have to uh, do a thing. The thing is called staking a block. That's a technical thing with blockchain. Don't worry about it. But you have to do that. And in order to do that, you have to have GRC, which is the currency for the Gridcoin blockchain. Once you have GRC, and we're talking 5,000 to 10,000 GRC, that's not many US dollars, then you can do solo crunching. And that means that you crunch on your own, you get your stats for crunching, you can be on any team you want, and as long as it's a whitelisted team for the time being, then and you just go alone. You go solo. If you don't have 5 to 10,000 GRC, and those numbers change, so if you're looking at this years after the videos come out, it's going to be a different number. But for the time being, if you don't have 5 to 10,000 GRC, you're going to do pool crunching. Pool crunching is very simple. You set up BOINC in the way we just did, and then you join a pool. We're not going to do that though. We're going to assume we're doing solo crunching. If you want to do pool crunching, just come to this website, gridcoin.us, click pool crunching guide, and I'll take you through it. So we are going to download Gridcoin. Boom, boom, boom. The milestones are named after Muppets. It's hilarious, isn't it? Ha ha ha. There you go. Win64 setup. Save this sucker. Get this. You're going to get a warning. That's just because we haven't paid for the thing. You're going to run it. It's open source software. Go ahead and review the code if you would like. Open source permissionless blockchains. So cool, right? There we go. On Gridcoin. This is so much work to help save the world. Oh man. Note. So the wizard's gonna pop up here. Please enter your BOINC email address, the same one you've used for every BOINC project you've signed up for. So for me, it's Gridcoin tutorial 2. Okay. If I don't do this correctly, there are other steps we're going to have to do that aren't going to be in this video, and it's frustrating. So do this correctly. So there we go. Now I have issues with my network, so that's not going to work for me. But for you, this will turn into a little sort of like a Wi-Fi bar, signal bar, and you'll connect to the network and you'll start downloading the blockchain. That's going to take you some time. up to a day, maybe even 2. You just need to let it run. It'll do its thing. Once it does its thing, this is going to change. The CPID is going to change from investor to that number, that ID. So that's what you want to keep an eye out for. If that does not happen, if these two things, this and this, don't match, jump in Discord, say hello, help me out, and we'll help you out. But they should match. Now, the last thing you're going to have to do, well, since we're doing solo, you're going to want to bring your GRC into the wallet. So you're going to click receive. You can use this address, but why not keep things neat? Starting coins. You can make it any label you want. Make a new address. There you go. People will send this or send GRC to this address when they send you GRC. So remember, this is a currency. You can buy and sell things with it. It's a cryptocurrency, so really that infrastructure isn't developed yet, but one day, right? So right, you have this address, you have your coins on an exchange or someone sending this to you give them that address, and your coins will show up here. Once your coins show up there, it's going to take 16 hours for them to mature. I'm making air quotes right there. I just realized you can't see me. So, that is a technical thing. Don't worry about it. But 16 hours will pass, and then you can start staking. So while all this is going on, it is highly, highly recommended that you encrypt your wallet. To do that, you go to Settings, Encrypt Wallet. You can do this at any point in this process, ideally before you have coins, because it's the safest. You set up a password. Do not lose this password. You will get a warning in a second saying exactly that. If you lose this password, you will not be able to access your coins. This is not like a bank. You're not going to be able to call support and have them unlock your wallet for you. All right? Warning. If you encrypt your wallet, which is highly, highly recommended, and you forget your password, you'll lose everything. Don't forget your password. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it in a security deposit box, memorize it. Whatever you got to do, don't lose it. Okay, once you encrypt, the wallet's going to close. Just fire that sucker back up. All right, so we're back. Now, oh, is it? No, it thought about it. So, we're encrypted. We've sent our coins, so they will be, you'll see it right here. And now when it's time to stake, oh, and also our CPID lines up with this number and that number. When it's time to stake, we're going to unlock. Make sure this box is checked for staking only. This is all just security measures. Once you get used to this stuff a little more, you interact with blockchains and wallets, this just becomes second nature. So you enter your password, passphrase. See, it should be something you can easily remember and is very difficult for someone else to guess. Phrases are great, and you'll start staking. So it's recommended, again, 5 to 10,000 GRC, and you will stake. Staking has a lot to do with chance. You increase your chance to stake the more GRC you have. So if you have like 50 billion GRC, which is not possible, but you're going to stake a lot. If you have 1 GRC, it's very, very unlikely that you're going to stake. You still could, but probably not. So set that up and you're good to go. And that is everything. Oh, it's not everything. I forgot. Very important step. Okay, so your CPID, I have not actually set up a wallet in a long time, so I don't remember when that will show up, but you're going to have to do this thing called advertising a beacon. So to advertise a beacon, you go to help debug window. Yes, sir. You go to console and you type in advertise beacon. Your wallet is going to have to be unlocked if you've encrypted it, and with that one, you're going to have to unlock it completely. So when this is checked, coins cannot move from your wallet. When this is unchecked, coins will be able to move from your wallet. So you're going to uncheck that. You're going to put in your password again. You're going to go to the console. You're going to type advertise beacon. So it's not working for me because I do not have coins in this wallet. So it costs a tiny amount of Gridcoin to advertise a beacon, something like a fraction, 0.001, something like that. Uh, so you'll do that, and that's everything. Once you're done, close the console. Don't forget to relock your wallet. If you want to stake afterwards, unlock it again. You have to go through that process, lock, and then unlock. Make sure that's ticked. Type in your password, and you're good to go. There we go. We've done everything. We've set up BOINC. BOINC, this whole time, by the way, I've been doing science. How cool is that? So BOINC's running on Rosetta at home, working on fixing this whole pandemic thing. And Gridcoin, we've installed it. We have put in the same email address as the one we use to sign up for every single BOINC project we run, because again, remember, you can do all of these projects with BOINC. With Gridcoin, there's something called a whitelist, so not all of them get rewarded with GRC. There are some reasons for that, but here are the ones that do get rewarded with GRC. So you can do any of these and get GRC for your work. It's awesome. It's not a lot of money. You're going to make back a little bit you spend in electricity. But at the end of the day, if you're running BOINC and if you're running Rosetta, which we whitelist, why not set up Gridcoin and get a little bit of money back? So we've got BOINC running, we've got Gridcoin running, we've advertised our beacon, we've made sure that our CPIDs match up, and I think that's it. I think we're good to go. The last thing you do is you join the Gridcoin community, because why not? Or the BOINC community. Both are open source software, so jump in, help code, help develop, help design, help you do some architecture stuff. There's economics involved with blockchain, so incentives, inflation rates, minting, distribution, a whole bunch of fun things you do with blockchain that aren't just software. So you can contribute whether you code or not. BOINC is more of a software thing, but you can do outreach and marketing. You can do some science stuff. You could set up your own BOINC project. Jump into either one of the discords here, say hello. We're a fun group of people. Follow us on Twitter. Listen to yours truly. Have some fun talking about BOINC or talking about decentralized science and blockchains and Gridcoin. Other than that, have fun, explore, say hi. See you later, bye. How do I stop?